Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It's a crisp, cool day, January day today, and I've got my overalls on, I've got my knee pads on. I'm planning to get a lot of work done in the garden today. My plans for today are to do some late winter cutback. This year was different. I normally cut back a lot in the fall, but this year I decided to leave a lot of it up because it was still blooming, and I'm so happy I did that because I had blooms in my garden all winter long. It was crazy. I just had blooms and blooms and blooms. So lesson learned for me, wait for cutback until late winter, which is now. So sadly, everything's starting to look a little ragged and look a little long in the tooth, and I think it's time for me to start cutting everything back before new growth happens. So usually for late winter cutback, you want to wait until all risk of freeze or hard frost is gone. And I actually think we're there. I was checking my last frost date on the Farmer's Almanac this morning, and my last frost date is a full week earlier than it normally is, which is absolutely crazy. So your last frost date can change a little bit based on weather patterns. You kind of just gotta, take a look at it. Of course, it's an estimate, but I was talking to my mom who lives 2 hours away from me, and she said the same thing. Her last frost date is earlier this year too. And that's pretty evident for me because I already have daffodils and I already have tulips. So to me, it seems like it's going to be an early spring, which is really exciting. It allows me to get a lot of stuff done sooner because we are kind of on a time crunch when it comes to spring because we get so hot so fast. I have a lot of chores to do in the spring before it gets too warm for these plants, and these plants start growing a lot. So I'm happy to be out here in late January doing some of this winter cutback. There is a lot to do. So I'm working in the orchard garden this morning, and there's definitely a lot to cut back. I have meteor shower verbena that I left up, and I'm so glad I did because it definitely handled the winter well. I just need to cut it back, and I'm hoping it'll flush back out pretty quickly. I've already done my iceberg roses back there, so I don't have to worry about that. But I have some Mace Blvd Ste J that I have to cut back. I have a Miss Molly butterfly bush. I have a whole bunch of Russian sage over here that I need to cut back. And then my Surefire rose begonia finally finished. This was crazy. I cannot believe how long this plant lasted over the winter. I had blooms all season long, and now it's just starting to look, like I said, long in the tooth. So I'm ready to cut that back, and then I'll leave, some basil leaves at the bottom, and then that should flush right back. My whirlwind blue scaevola still looks fabulous, so I'm going to leave that. One thing I do want to say that if you're going to be doing late winter cutback, you don't want to prune back any spring blooming plants, like plants that will bloom really early in the spring. So for instance, I have this one right here. This is Banana Cream 2 Shasta Daisy right behind Monty, and I actually cut that back in the fall because it's obviously starting to bloom now. So I'm not going to touch any plants that are going to be spring blooming. Salvia leucantha right here. This is fall blooming. I can cut that back. Summerific hibiscus. I can cut that back. Let's see. I'm not going to touch my lavender today. I am going to start cutting back my Playing the Blue salvia, which is another annual, but it's actually a temperennial for me. It looked beautiful all season long, but it finally is at the point where it's kind of done. I just noticed, oh my gosh. Oh, look at how beautiful. So this is a purple lilac vine. It's part of my monthly blooming garden for February. So February is when it's supposed to bloom. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful this plant is. I got to train it, but oh my gosh, that's so pretty. So pretty. That right there is why I did the monthly blooming garden, so that I could enjoy the blooms every month of the year. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, and then coming this way, I would like to make it all the way up to the fig tree today. That means I need to address this garden bed. This has Nyphophia in it that I need to cut back, Russian sage that I need to cut back. I'm not going to cut back the chiclet orange Tacoma. That doesn't need to be cut back. But I do have this cat's pajamas nepeta that I have to cut back as well. And then let's see. Oh, I was showing you guys this Evolvulus blew my mind kind, saying that it succumbed to the winter, but I got so many comments from you all who live in mild climates who said, it's not done. Don't worry about it. Just cut it back and it'll start growing back. So that's really exciting. And thank you for sharing that with me. I really hope that this comes back. That will be really, really exciting. So I'll hope to cut that back today. And then I think I'll just stop from there. So if I can get this part of the orchard garden done today, I will be very, very happy with myself. And then real quick, just because you're going to see it in the background, I want to show you my rocks. So here they are, another pile in our front yard, but this is really exciting. So last week, Jason and I went rock shopping. These are all for the dry creek bed that's going to go over in the center island over there. We picked out a couple big boulders and then this dry creek bed mix. It's called the Yuba mix. It's anywhere from, what was it? 2 to 6 inch diameter rocks, which I think will look really natural and really pretty. So we have a big boulder there and then a big boulder here, which is so sad because it broke as they delivered it. It was such a bummer. And I'm pretty sure this is the one that I wanted to plant in. One of them had like kind of a little notch in it and I was planning to plant in it and I'm pretty sure that one broke. Yeah, I'm very disappointed with that. And then we have that one right there. So these should be getting installed, I don't know, this upcoming week or next week or something like that. We're also getting our gazebo worked on. We have to like put the footing in and all that kind of stuff. We bought the gazebo already, which is really exciting. So lots of really fun stuff happening. We just, it's coordination. That's the hardest part. Anyway, so that's the pile of rocks you see in the back. I am going to get my pruners and I'm going to get to work. Update on where I'm at. I'm getting a lot done. It's been a little over an hour. My allergies are going nuts today. Absolutely nuts today. It's all this digging around in this old foliage and old leaves. Oh my goodness, I cannot stop sneezing. So if you see me sneezing on the video, just ignore it. So here's where I'm at so far. I'm going to try and not sniff, you guys. I apologize in advance. So I've got my meteor shower verbena all cut back. That was pretty simple, straightforward. The orange blaze nifofia is cut back. I have 3 here, and then I have, I think, 4 or 5 more over on the other side of the pathway. I was able to prune the Miss Molly butterfly bush. That's looking really good. And I have a little bit of new growth at the bottom, so I knew it was a good time to prune it. I pruned it back to about 12, 24, 18 inches. I don't know, kind of around there, because I want to kind of keep that nice and compact. And then I came through and cut back all of my Russian sage back here. And finally, my Surefire Rose Begonia that was very simple to cut back using my new Hori Hori knife that Jason got me for Christmas. You can see my tools right here. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Oh, I am just, these allergies. Oh. Okay, so these are the three main tools I've been using, and really, it makes such a big difference when you have the right tool. I have my regular pruners. These are actually from Hose Link. They're my pink pruners. I love them. This is that Hori Hori knife. It makes it really easy, and it's nice and sharp, so it makes it really easy to kind of, it's almost like brutal to the poor plants, but it works well. And then finally, these are my automatic pruners that I absolutely love, but you have to be so careful using them. Really pay attention, but they just make the work just so incredibly easy. So next I'll work on this Salvia leucantha right here. My Sumerific hibiscus, I'll cut that back to 6 inches. I'll come over here and cut back the plain the blue salvia, and then hopefully make my way over here before my allergies just completely take me out. Is enough of that. So I got a lot done. I got this whole front section pretty much totally done except for the nepeta. I haven't cut back the nepeta, and I definitely have to do that. And then I started working back here in this kind of garden bed right there. And I had my mask off for like a minute, and I was right next to the Russian sage, and I started sneezing again. And I realized it's the Russian sage that's getting my allergies, which the Russian sage also causes me to have rashes if I rub up against it. So I must just be allergic to Russian sage, which is so horrible because I love Russian sage so much. I think it's so beautiful. So I just have to take precautions. Like, I knew that. I knew I have to take precautions. I don't know. I just didn't think about it today. So in this garden bed right here, I didn't get to the evolvulus, or this is a white Salvia leucantha. So beautiful. I also need to cut back more of the lemon coral sedum, make that a little bit neater. And then I do need to cut back the nepeta and clean up the Helen von Stein lambs here. I have to say, you guys, as I was kind of crawling around in here, there was so much gopher activity in this garden bed. Holy cow. So last year we had trouble with gophers. Mainly, I thought it was mainly in that area over there by the orange trees and kind of where my lavender river is over there. But, oh man, as I'm messing around here, there's so much gopher activity. And I was thinking about it. I remember I did plant some tulips right here, tulip bulbs, and gophers love tulip bulbs. So I wonder if that attracted them. We had professionals come in to deal with the gophers, and we're monitoring for more gopher activity. So everything seems okay right now, but I'm shocked that as much survived as it did, because just the amount of like tunnels that I could find as I was crawling around was crazy. I did lose one Knifophia right there, so I need to replace that this year. I cut back the Russian sage back there, and I cut back the Knifophia, and so that's looking pretty good. Over here, I cut back my plain the blue salvia. That was pretty easy. I actually didn't even cut it back. It's so brittle. The stems are so brittle that it's really easy to just break it it off down to where the old leaves are, and then started cutting back this Thunbergia. I need to do a little bit more work on that. I got the Summerfest hibiscus and the Salvia leucantha, and then all of this stuff over here. So I think I did pretty good. So cutting it all back makes me think, yes, I need some more evergreen interest in here, maybe like a pineapple sage or I don't know, some type of vine on the fence or something like that. I'll think about it. This lemon tree is going to grow up. That's evergreen. That's going to look really good. This podocarpus tree is going to grow up. That's going to look really good. I don't know. I have to think. I have to think. I just have to think about it. But yes, I do need some more winter interest here. Seeing it all cut back. Boy, my hair is looking good today, huh? So I do have a lot of people ask what I do with my yard waste, my green debris and all the stuff that I prune. So I do have compost piles in the back, but they are chock full, absolutely chock full. And so we do have these green waste bins that our city takes for us, picks up, takes for us, and then composts it at the dump. And then you can go and you can buy that compost, which I have done before. So I've been doing that a lot. I have decided that I do want to get a chipper. I definitely want a leaf mulcher / chipper that can chip up, like small branches and stuff like that, which is mostly what I have. But I just think that would be so nice to have everything all chipped up. Then I can put it into my compost bin and it will break down just that much faster. But I've been looking at the prices for chippers and they are not cheap either. But I'll put it on my wish list. So anyway, I hope this was motivational for you guys. Once you start seeing some new growth and you get close to your last frost, start thinking about some late winter cleanup. I still have so much more to do. I have all my grasses to cut back, but I'm happy with what I got done today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a chance to get in your garden today.